Hi, I'm Lyndsay Wheeler. We're here with Mom Kara, and we're here to talk about son or daughter? Son. Your son with autism. So tell me a little bit about what's been going on, what you're seeing, what problems or things you're having at home.
My son Jackson is 16, and we do EPIC homeschool, and then we also are part of a co-op, so we do some offline schooling. And so I think now he is the youngest of 4, so he's got some wonderful siblings that support him and really try to draw out his best.
Awesome.
The most challenging thing is really, as a parent, focusing on where I'm trying to parent to protect versus parent to prepare. Because he's 16, he's hitting milestones of growth and maturity that I'm probably not prepared for. He does not drive, mainly because he has older siblings who aren't really interested in driving, and I'm kind of waiting on them, but he seems okay with that. The social aspect is probably our biggest challenge, and looking forward to where he might work, what he might do to continue becoming. And so I think I would love for him to do something where he can, excel and continue growing versus a place maybe where I feel like they're tolerating things.
Gotcha. Okay. Some ideas. First, your mother instinct is always the correct one. So if you're nervous, he's probably nervous. And if you ever feel like he's unsafe, he probably is. So go with your gut first. That's my first call always as a mom. And the next is start at home first. So as you're looking for him to grow, what things could you change at home to make him more independent? So if that's, does he do everything himself? Does he get dressed independently? Does he get himself ready without you reminding him? Does he get ready to go somewhere? Does he make plans independently to do those things? Does he cook dinner once in a while or help out? All those things that sometimes we think of those huge goals when we start in the small places first. And then if he's successful, like, wow, he can really handle this. I could give him a little bit more responsibility other places. And then as you get out into the community and social and jobs, think of it there first. Like, what are the things to be successful in a job? It would be a lot of those things that happen first, like that planning skills and, independent skills at home. You can then transfer that make it really nice and easy when you go to transfer to job skills, like calling people back, doing interviews, things like that. And then when you get into the community, make sure you're comfortable, number one, that you feel like he's in a safe environment. So if it's jobs, you check it out first. See if you feel comfortable there, if you think he would be comfortable, and then look at what is he good at? What makes him happy? Is it helping others? Does he like schedules? Having the same routines all the time? What do you think he would enjoy doing? What's he gonna be motivated by? Maybe it's earning a little bit of money and he can spend it on whatever he wants to without you stipulating what that is. Or maybe it's just getting tasks done and being around others. So that kind of can help guide you which way we're gonna go.
Okay.
So that kind of helps. And then again, always go with your instinct. If you don't think it's right, I would stop because you're probably correct. And then with some of the social skills, I would start with people you're comfortable with. Go in places that you always go and then let him start to do it more independently himself. Let him take charge, right? But only in comfort places. So if you guys always go to a lot of the same restaurants, let him start to always order or pay a little bit. Let him go by himself with you sitting, far away. I've seen parents even on some first dates, they'll sit in the corner and let the two go, little things like that. Even those first jobs, make them really small and easy with people you trust.
Okay.
So, any questions or anything else that you think I can answer?
Well, as he's, as he is branching out a little bit, just naturally maturing, I feel like I have sheltered him a lot.
Yes.
And having older siblings, that's helped me be able to do that even more.
Yes.
So more and more when he's out in social settings, whether it's an event or church, he is noticing that it's harder for him to communicate or make friends. And so he is starting to say things more and more about being different, and he's noticing more, I think. And I know that his older siblings are, about to start working and being gone a lot more. And so So what would be the best way to encourage him to understand that, that different isn't a negative. Different is unique. What makes him unique is beautiful.
Absolutely, I love that. I think the first step is to talk about it. I think sometimes we start to get uncomfortable, so we avoid it. It just gets awkward, especially with siblings. We want to protect from that, and so we don't always talk about it because we think that will protect his feelings. And what it does sometimes is it does the opposite, and he feels like you're hiding something for him when he thinks, I can handle this. And so to trust him to be able to, and to do it in a setting where you guys can control the narrative and make sure he feels good about what you're saying. And then give him a way to express it, because he's gonna run into some situations where he's uncomfortable and doesn't know what to say. And so to give him an outlet, like if this happens, do X, Y, and Z that make him feel good. And the same things with the siblings, because they might also be a little nervous. They're probably feeling we're all having this life change where we're growing up and he's still there and they're nervous just like you're nervous. You guys are all probably feeling some similar things but different. So I would just say, just open it up as a family. Like maybe even talk about it as a group, How are each of us feeling about what's going on? And then what steps can you take? So if that's, maybe ask him, what are you most scared of? Is that being alone without my siblings? Okay, what can we do? Do we have some close friends that you could make sure you're with so you're not solo going into events? Or is it just the interactions without them? What is it? And I think once you know the fears, then you can identify it and figure out solutions.
Okay.
Just talk. Anything else you can think of?
Yeah. Actually, one thing that we commonly deal with is like his personal hygiene.
Okay.
He resists, and sometimes I think maybe he just doesn't always grasp the full picture of it, because he wants like specific days that he has to take a shower opposed to just when he needs it, or
got it.
So I have to set him up as like structured routines, kind of like it's time for this.
But
sometimes I'm thinking he's not connecting the whole concept.
Well,
he wants to wear the same outfit every day, and
right.
things like that.
Got it. Well, and maybe you can even set that up for him, like, we all have that, right? Most of us say Monday through Friday, I have to take a shower. On the weekends, I'm not doing it, because I have to go to work the next day. Or with boys or guys, it's a little easier, because hey, maybe we have checklists of, am I this, or this? Okay, you have to shower. Sorry, you smell today.
Right.
Or my hair looks a mess. I have to shower or brush it. So giving him those parameters, and then I would explain now the why. Because, other people don't want to be around you if you smell. We can't, go to work looking like that. We have to brush our hair and, hey, smell your breath, Would you want to talk to someone this close? Doesn't that bother you? Kind of showing those things, even though they're hard to point out. That can be a little easier. And I think schedules are great, because I think we all follow them. So Monday through Friday, you have to do this. Saturday and Sunday, we're okay, unless we have to go somewhere. Certain guidelines for your family that work for you. And then you had another one. What was it? It wasn't about hygiene. Was it around that?
Well, most recently, he's very talkative.
Yes.
But usually it's the same topics over and over again. And so we actually had a discussion yesterday, because he finds it hard to hold everyone's attention.
Okay.
Because he wants to talk at length about the same things. And I've explained to him that a lot of times, he's wanting to share whatever thoughts are going through his head or whatever he's thinking about.
Okay.
Where everyone always has thoughts going through their head, but they're not always all sharing them.
Right.
And that he needs to, and I asked if he could maybe focus on I asked if he could maybe realize that sometimes when he wants to talk about something, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone around him wants to listen or continue listening to the same topics, because what he's thinking isn't always the most important thing to be saying. And so, because he often gets very upset,
right,
and he wants them to keep listening, and he doesn't, So I try to encourage him that it's okay to think whatever you want to think, but sometimes people want to think their own thoughts, and when you're always sharing yours out loud, then it doesn't allow other people to not listen, even if they want to stop listening.
Okay, no, that totally makes sense. What I usually like to talk to kids about, of all ages and adults, is look to see if someone's interested. Are they interested in what you're saying? If they're looking away or twiddling their thumbs, or they look like they want to get out of their chair, they're probably done with the conversation. And it might be because it's gone on too long, or they're not interested in what you're talking about. And that's okay. It shouldn't be offensive. Sometimes it is, if it seems serious, but most of the time it just means let's change topics. Or, hey, what do you think that individual's interested in? Maybe we should ask them what they're thinking about, and switch to something that they're interested in. But the first step is to identify if someone's interested in what we're saying or not interested, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so encourage him to look for body language and cues, because I know that's a
Absolutely.
struggle.
Yes.
He doesn't automatically pick up on those.
Yes.
And, as I said, he spends a lot of time with his siblings, so they're not going to be rude, but when he
Right.
gets into the real world, I'm really afraid that if he doesn't pick up on some of these things now, that people aren't always going to be kind.
Absolutely. And so sometimes as a family, what you guys could do is say you're all around the dinner table. You can tell them, hey, we're going to play a game tonight. The goal is when you start talking about something that we don't like, we're not going to be interested. We want you to figure out. And then maybe, you do something really fun if he gets the cues. You can kind of throw a little party, but like say it's Friday night cue night, and you got to catch them. And now you're a little bit dramatic in it. Like, oh, I can't, I'm so bored. Oh, is he saying that again? And so you're a little dramatic, but it should be fun, and you guys all kind of laugh at each other. And then let him do it to you too. So because he's not going to be interested in everything you're talking about either. So bore him a little bit and let him do the same.
Okay.
And make it a fun Friday.
Thank you.
Yes.